On this mission, I'll be launching a 4-ton manned spacecraft to minmus and back. The spacecraft is pretty lightweight, and this is one of my first lightweight crafts I've ever made. Jebediah will have a great long mission in a lawn chair with an iPod Touch. This ascent was pretty standard, albeit very steep because of the high thrust-to-weight ratio of the first stage. I'm using a Rapier engine because it's somewhat light and quite fast. It has a high max speed. And my second stage is just going to be using 2 ant engines and an Oscar B fuel tank for my orbital insertion burn. And for the main stage, it'll be going to minmus and back. Just 1 Oscar B fuel tank, a spider engine, a reaction wheel, a battery, and a radiator. The reason I need that radiator will be apparent in the future. I also might have forgot to mention that I have a solar panel on the front as well. Now I'll just let you bask in the beauty of Kerbin going into net as I finish my orbital insertion burn. For my minmus encounter, I just kind of made a maneuver node at the descending node and it worked, and that's it. The reason I'm using the spider engine as opposed to the ant engine is because it has a higher ISP, so it's more efficient, and I don't have to have 2 of them, which is more weight. You gotta love sped up KSP music. Now I have a really boring minmus orbital insertion burn. It's very simple. But if you were paying a lot of attention, you might realize I don't have enough delta V to land on minmus and get back. That's where EVA packs come in. They have quite a bit of delta V in them on their own, and I also swapped out my parachute for fuel cylinders to get even more. Now this is the point where I land. For some reason, I was having a bit of problems with just the RCS on the EVA pack not orienting me correctly. So in a second, I'm gonna quick save and quick load and fix that. As you can see, I was just trying to get it to work. I chose to land on this plateau because it's higher up and I don't have to worry about, or I don't have to go use as much fuel to get back up. And as you can see, I'm almost there. And this is the quick load where I fix it. From that, I'm just easily able to do that. Technically, a Kerbal can should have an impact of 50 meters a second if it's at a light angle. But I don't want to roll down that hill because that will basically make the point of going on the plateau worthless. So and plus I had delta V to spare, so I just chose to do that landing. Now I'm planting my flag, and yeah, you might not be able to see it, but it's just Jeb standing in front of an explosion. It's the best flag ever. So, in a second here, I'm gonna take off. In the takeoff, I'm not gonna lie, it took me 2 attempts to get the encounter with the orbital vessel because I was on an inclination. I wasn't perfectly equatorial, which was kind of a rookie move, but that's that. And you might be noticing running low on monopropellant. I still ended up getting back with a tiny bit, but the margins were not big at all. And if I were to have done this again, I would have just gone equatorial on this. At this point, I don't know how to make this thing any lighter. I've been working on it for about a day. As you can see here, I got there. So if you have any suggestions on how to make this lighter, just leave them in the comments or something. I don't know, I'm new to this YouTube thing. And now, I just got back. I've got plenty of Delta V to get back. The only issue at this point is I don't have a heat shield, and I am going to be coming in pretty hot at 3,000 meters a second. And that is just where the radiator there comes in. That radiator is going to be the only thing stopping me from exploding, which is not much. I couldn't get it to perfectly fit in the fairing at the beginning, with the jeb not poking out, so I still have to turn and tumble every now and then to avoid jeb exploding. But at this point, I go in for a bunch of aero braking passes. As you can see, almost immediately those are heat bars popping up. So I went in for multiple aero braking passes. Well, I think 3. I don't remember. We'll find out in a second. And then you might have also, if you were very keen-eyed and eared, you might have heard me say something about getting rid of the parachute for monopropellant cylinders. That is true. I don't have a parachute on this thing at all. And thankfully, external command seats have a really unusual trait where if you just hit the ground at slow enough speeds, the Kerbal just like bounces out and doesn't die. And I use that to my advantage. So I don't have a parachute and I'm just landing in the water. I don't think it really matters, but the Kerbal, I don't know how it will survive. I was trying to find a way to make this more bright, but I'm sorry, it's pretty dark. I hope YouTube compression doesn't make it even darker, but yeah. So there you can see some clouds, or I hope you can. So I'm gonna hit the ground at I think 50 something meters a second. Yeah, maybe lower, like 50 something. As you can see, I just keep trying to slow down. And then I tried to brighten this a bit, but so as you can see, I'm gonna land at 50 meters a second. And Jeb survived. Congrats, Jeb. Congrats to Jeb for surviving that. He deserves it. See you guys next time.